Dear viewers of SMART24 TV, my name is Dr. Joseph Tindebwa, and we are having the topic of discussion tonight in the program that we always have this Monday, and we will be looking at the credit finance management for business growth and poverty reduction. We continue to ask ourselves, our dear viewers and listeners outside there, whether in a midst economic crisis that many and various commentators have been reflecting on, stating the nature of our economy, either at a national level and together with the global context of how the economy is faring. So we look at in a midst economic crisis, can the banking sector enhance entrepreneurship and investment in Uganda? We'll be joined by some other two guests who give us their input into this discussion, and one of which is a representative of those who are doing business, especially here in Kampala, by names Muzamiru Kwebia Aboli. He's a public relations officer and is the PRO of Arcades Advocacy Forum. Our dear guests, our discussion, the passionate discussion that we bring to you tonight for reflection and for a number of insights that we may draw into together, is to remember that of recent, different media papers, they have been reflecting on the state of bad loans performance and how some businesses amidst this economic crisis were at a serious threat to collapse. And maybe they may be referring to some macro businesses, but there might be more others, especially the micro, those who go to do business, having some shops, as we know, including going down there, downtown. There are some who have said, no, we are not able to continue with this kind of economy, and they end up packing their bags, closing the shop, and they go away. A number of arcades, it is known to us that they have been closed. They still, some of those tenants are looking for those to go and hire those arcades. Business is not as usual, as someone normally says it. It's not business as usual. A number of other commentators and policy analysts, policy makers, and those who are participating in a way to improve their livelihoods, it is believed to be a risky venture of these days in terms of accessing, deciding to take a loan. The repayment is not predictable. It is of a high risk to attain a loan and easily pay it back. While we are trying to build the economy, there are a number of key factors that are important in boosting the economy. The economic production factors cannot change. The access to credit is important. And some other, they talk about, of course, other factors of production. We could look at land. There are those who are participating in farming. You go and acquire a credit, either you are to invest it in agricultural activities. Dear viewers, it is important also to know that the economy of Uganda, there are a number of microfinance credit policies that have been initiated, supported by the government, and initiated even with the involvement of the private sector. We have the Bank of Uganda, that is the regulating body, but yet there are our commercial banks which are operating independently in a way to do business in the banking and finance sector. And for our information, especially Uganda, the bigger percentage of the banking sector, the commercial banks, are owned by the foreigners. We take the pride also to appreciate those other banks which have been able to mushroom, especially the well-performing banks, indigenous banks. We're able to outline, among of which the commercial bank, the Centenary Rural Development Bank, and the upcoming, it has not yet spread widely like commercial, Centenary Bank, the Posta Bank, the microfinance, the Pride Microfinance Bank, and there are more others, the Finca and so forth. But these banks, one of the threats, as we've been interacting with a number of our various citizens, those who are clients of these banks, the Ugandans and possibly others who are doing business here, the interest rate seems to be high. And while the interest rate seems to be high, there are a number of other challenges which we're able to accompany with the threat of interest rates. Number one, we passed through 2 years of the COVID-19. There were a number of initiatives and policy proposals by the Bank of Uganda to support the mushrooming business so that they do not collapse. By the time of the COVID-19 pandemic, especially during that crisis between 2020, 2021, it is believed that many of our citizens who were engaged in businesses are not only either in day-to-day entrepreneurship businesses, but including those who were participating in a wider range of business, including the tourism sector, those who are participating in tourism, hotel, and it is known to us that many of our fellow citizens were able to lose jobs, especially those who were widely participating in the private sector. So that's why tonight we look at a number of key challenges that we may either face and the opportunities that we can explore too. But the current situation is quite worrying, the way how credit finance management is facing a number of challenges. Those who go to do business and those who are also doing business by enabling their clients, that is the citizens and other clients, wherever they are, to access credit. The performance of loans remains a challenge. And it was one of the information reported, I think yesterday in one of the papers, that there is bad performance of loans. That means our people outside there, as I talk about the issue of loans, it is not an easy matter that we can easily resolve tonight. But that does not mean that business will stop, investment will not stop, and there are also other success stories that we'll be able to be looking at. There are a number of new investment companies that have been launched. That is part of the success stories. The other day, on Monday, it was in the press release, it's known that in this week, 2 companies have been, industries have been launched. The one of biopharmacy and also the one which is handling the manufacture of tires, launched by the president of this country, and that is His Excellency President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. That is a milestone in terms of adding on investment and productivity in Uganda in the area of pharmaceutical industries and also in the area of the construction, the building materials, to have one of our more other companies that can be able to manufacture these tiles. So in the midst of all these challenges, still we continue to pursue for the best. But tonight, as I will be going for the commercial break while being joined by the guest, it is important to know what are the factors to consider when you are attaining a credit and how you can manage a credit, utilize it to the best, to the maximum, ensuring that you cannot face a crisis after attaining any credit facility. The factors of attaining a credit facility, the management of a credit facility. All this, the pursuit is to ensure that we have progress, economic progress, business progress, and at the end of it all, we reduce the chances of poverty. We can minimize chances of poverty. We don't breed the space for poverty, but we create an atmosphere and we invent into the opportunities of generating wealth. That is the daily pursuit of the government, to ensure that all of us, we have a welfare, everyone outside there, whether you're working in government, whether you're not working in government for public, for white-collar jobs. But we must ensure that we use the very opportunity to manage the economic welfare of this country. Stay tuned. We'll be coming back after this commercial break, and that will be our discussion.